Hi, my name is Mackenzie. Welcome to my channel here on YouTube, Ken's Flow. This is my second video and part 2 of this chakra series. So the first one was our root chakra, the first chakra, and now we are on to our second chakra, the sacral chakra. So today's flow is more of a core, energizing, activating flow. Still nice and slow as far as our breath, and still accessible and modifiable for all levels. Whenever you are ready, you can join me with your eyes closed. Same thing as last time, we're just going to start with a few moments of meditation. Once you've found your comfortable seat, we're just going to go ahead and check in with the breath. So without trying to control it or change it in any way, first let's just see how our breathing is doing right now. Are we breathing into our chest, or are we breathing deeper into our belly? And with this awareness of our breath, we can now begin to consciously send our breath, send our energy to that sacral chakra. You can visualize this energy center as right below the belly button and wrapping around to the lumbar vertebrae of the spine. And this energy center is all about our need to create, to express, and to feel. The chakra of pleasure, of passion, and of connecting. We work with the sacral chakra by gaining a deeper understanding of our emotions. We expand the sacral chakra when we notice how and where we store emotions in the physical body. So if you want to take a moment to set an intention for your practice, perhaps your intention is to release those stored emotions. Perhaps your intention is just to bring awareness to this energy center, or whatever else you choose. We'll take a few more deep breaths. When you're ready, you can gently blink your eyes open for a little auric sweep. So we're going to sweep our arms up overhead, connecting our fingertips, smiling as we pass our face, and releasing our hands back to our lap. So if you are not cross-legged already, go ahead and join me there with your hands on your knees, sitting on a block or a bolster if that's more comfortable. And we're going to do a couple rounds of seated cat-cow. So inhale for the cow, broadening across your collarbones and your rib cage, pushing your chest forward. Exhale cat, rounding through your shoulders and upper back. Inhale cow, pushing your chest and your belly out, lifting the gaze. Exhale cat, rounding through the spine. Move through a few more at your own pace, visualizing that orange sacral chakra. When you're ready, you can meet me in a neutral spine. We're going to lift our arms up overhead. Release the right hand to the mat in line with the hips, wherever your elbow feels comfortable. And then you're going to breathe into that right side, feeling space created between your rib cage for our seated half moon. Your gaze follows your fingertips. And exhale back to center, arms up overhead. And release that left hand to the mat, bending into the elbow, creating space in the side body on the exhale. 2 more rounds of breath here. Visualizing that orange orb growing bigger with each deep inhale. And inhale those arms back up to center. Create length in your spine. And on the next exhale, you're going to bring the right hand back down to the floor. And this time you're going to have the left hand on the knee for a gentle twist. And inhale back to center, arms are up overhead. Exhale, twist to the other side, bringing your left hand down to the floor, right hand to the knee. Keeping that length in our spine, we'll take 1 more breath here. Then inhale, bring the hands back up to center. Connect them through heart center. And release them to the mat behind you. We're going to bring our legs straight out in front of us for staff pose. Again, you can sit on a block or a bolster if that's more comfortable on your hips. Sweep the arms up overhead, creating a straight line from your tailbone through that solar plexus chakra, through the top of your head and coming out through your fingertips. Amazing, powerful pose. When you are ready, you can make your way into tabletop however you would like. Tabletop is our position in all fours, so you want your shoulders stacked above your wrists, you want your hips stacked directly above your knees, the tops of your feet and your fingers are pressing firmly into the mat. You're engaging your core, your spine is neutral, gaze is between your hands. On the next inhale, you're going to lift the right arm up, engaging the core, find your balance, and then you're going to pull that hand through the center, bringing your fingertips and your gaze towards the ceiling, opening through your chest, creating another twist. Exhale, hand back down to the mat, find your neutral spine, and inhale that left arm up, all the way up to the ceiling. Your gaze follows it, your shoulders rotated externally. And release that hand back down to the mat. Find your neutral spine again in tabletop. And on the next inhale, you're going to lift that right arm again. Sending the left leg back, creating our sunbird position. You want your hips to still be square, your gaze is straight ahead. And exhale, you're going to crunch, so bend that left knee in to meet the right elbow and extend it back out. And exhale, release back into tabletop. Take a second to check in with your breath, check in with that sacral chakra. Inhale, sunbird again on the right arm and left leg. Your toes are pointing down at the mat, your hips are square. This time you're going to release only your hand back to the mat. Then you're going to tuck your toes underneath and push up into three-legged dog. Your hips are squared towards the front of the room, shoulders relax from your ears, long line from the crown of your head, and release that left foot to the mat. Feel into your first downward dog of the day. Maybe you take some pedals by bending one knee more than the other, pressing your rib cage towards your thighs. And then you're going to shift your weight forward on the next inhale, hold high plank. Exhale, drop your knees to the mat, connect your big toes, sink back into child's pose. You can release either your forehead or your cheek to the mat. You can place a block directly under your tailbone here, or a bolster. You can also place a bolster under your chest for a supported child's pose. You really want this posture to be relaxing and grounding, so take a few deep breaths here. You're ready, we're going to shift our weight back into tabletop. Inhale, left arm, right leg this time for our sunbird. Gaze is straight ahead. And exhale, crunch the knee in to meet the elbow. And extend it back out into sunbird. Exhale, release back into tabletop. Find that neutral spine. And inhale back into sunbird on the same side. Palm is down, toes are down, core is engaged. Place the left hand down. Tuck the left toes under to push up into our three-legged dog with the right leg up this time. The next exhale, you can release that right leg to the mat, coming into our second downward facing dog. Maybe you pedal it out again. Take any notice of how you feel different, how your spine, how your hips feel different in this one. Then you're going to shift forward into high plank, creating that heat in the sacral chakra, and release your knees to the mat, connect the big toes, sink the hips back for child's pose. And on every exhale, perhaps you visualize that orange sacral chakra grow bigger and bigger as you feel your belly expand between your thighs. So from here, we're going to come up onto all fours and then make our way into our bottom four boat pose. If you want a fun little transition, you can put your hands next to your knees, cross your ankles in the back, and you're going to try to send your feet through without touching the mat. Once your hands are by your hips, you're going to lift your feet into the air, keeping your knees bent at about 90 degrees. And your hands can stay on the mat, or you can lift those as well, palms turned upwards. One more breath here. Keep lengthening through the spine. Then you can either release your feet to the mat, or for a little challenge, you can try to push yourself up off the mat, crossing at the ankles again. And then we're going to come back into boat pose one more time. Just one round of breath here, and exhale, release your feet to the mat, release your back to the mat, coming down into our reclined postures. On the next inhale, you're going to lift your pelvis up, squeezing through your glutes. Your feet are hips-width distance apart. Your palms are flat on the ground. Engage your core, engage your sacral chakra, and release your hips back down to the mat. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a big hug for doing amazing. And then you can release your feet back to the mat, but we're going to actually connect our soles of our feet together. This is a reclined bound angle position. And you may want to walk the soles of the feet out a little bit away from the body so that the inner thighs can really relax all the way. And if it feels good to you, maybe you place one hand on your sacral chakra below your belly button, and maybe one hand on your heart. This is a healing hand position that allows us to send our energy, send our source energy from our heart to that sacral chakra below it. When you are ready, you can bring the knees back together and extend the legs out all the way, coming into our final resting position for our meditation. So you want to make sure you allow all the muscles in your face and your jaw and your shoulders to relax. And for the next couple of minutes, come back to that intention that you set in the beginning of practice. Connect back to your breath and check back in with the body and with the second chakra. And I'll play us a few moments of sound healing to lead us out.